At this point, we can continue adding features, but I'd like to show you how to work with some of the geometry you've already created. If you'd like to change some geometry, oftentimes new users tend to delete features and recreate them from scratch, but that's not necessary. In SOLIDWORKS, you can always go back to the sketch to change the shape of the geometry, or you can always go back to the feature to change the thickness. Let me show you what I mean. If you decided you wanted to change the shape of this geometry, remember the shape is being controlled by the sketch. To make changes to it, all you have to do is select it in the feature tree and click Edit Sketch from the pop-up menu. This brings you back into sketch mode, where you can modify any of the dimensions or relations. Let's change one of the dimensions. I'll double-click on it and make it 100 millimeters. When I do, the geometry updates, and if I click the Exit Sketch button, we return back to Edit Part mode, where you can see that the feature has been updated. I'll go back into the sketch once more. I'll click on it and again select Edit Sketch. Up to this point, I've skipped over this red X icon. The red X discards any changes that you make. So if I double-click and edit this dimension to say 150 millimeters, but later decide that I didn't mean to change this dimension and I really wanted to keep the geometry I had before, I can simply click the red X and select the Discard Any Changes and Exit option to have the geometry return back to what you had before. If you actually want to save a change that you make, you can first edit the sketch, make the desired change, and simply exit the sketch. So we've seen how to change the shape of the profile based on the sketch. But I'd also like to show you how you can always modify the thickness as well. The thickness is driven by the Boss Extrude feature. If I click on the feature, notice there's an icon on the pop-up menu to edit the feature. When I click Edit Feature, it brings us right back to the property manager we had earlier, so I can change the thickness here. Or, if I want to, I could change it to be a blind extrude, and even flip the thickness to the other side. After making the change, I can click on the green check and the geometry updates. So to sum up, the sketch is controlling the shape, while the feature is defining the thickness.